Welcome back and thank you for joining me today, because what we are about to explore together is something that turns an ordinary moment into an extraordinary discovery. Sometimes the smallest things in life carry the biggest surprises, and today's journey into the world of coins proves exactly that. Imagine reaching into a pocket, a drawer, a purse, or perhaps sorting through a jar of coins that has been sitting untouched for years, and unexpectedly discovering a tiny copper-colored coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but holds a story so unusual and so valuable that it almost seems unbelievable. Today, we are talking about the 1978 Liberty 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin that the world knows as just a simple penny, worth 1 cent, yet under the right circumstances, with the right errors, with the right minting anomalies, and with the right combination of extraordinary mistakes, it has been speculated to be worth an astonishing $1,258 million. Imagine a single penny being worth more than mansions, luxury cars, private islands, and lifetime fortunes combined. That is the extraordinary world we are entering today, where a seemingly ordinary 1978 penny can turn into an unimaginable treasure. What makes such a small coin so valuable is not magic, not myths, and not exaggeration. Instead, it is a fascinating combination of the minting process, human oversight, mechanical limitations, unexpected flaws, metal inconsistencies, rare die conditions, and mint mark anomalies. Every step in the creation of a coin is precise, yet sometimes, even in a highly controlled environment like the United States Mint, mistakes happen. Some mistakes are tiny, invisible to the naked eye unless inspected closely. Others are dramatic, instantly recognizable. But all of them contribute to the possibility of extraordinary rarity. And rarity is the heart of value in the world of coin collecting. When something is rare, when something exists in extremely small quantities, when something cannot be duplicated or reproduced, its value increases dramatically. And this is exactly what has made certain examples of the 1978 Liberty 1-cent coin so valuable. The year 1978 was part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent era, where the obverse displayed the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse showed the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of history, legacy, and unity. But although millions of Lincoln cents were minted that year, only a tiny number contain the type of errors and mistakes that push their value into the realm of millions. These errors can include double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, transitional planchets, die cracks, die cuts, struck-through errors, repunched mint marks, missing mint marks, extreme misalignments, or combinations of several errors at once. The moment a collector discovers one of these rare varieties, the value skyrockets. Among the most valuable errors linked to the 1978 penny are double die obverse and double die reverse varieties. A double die occurs when the die, which contains the design that gets impressed onto the coin, receives more than one impression that does not perfectly align. This creates doubling on letters, numbers, the portrait, or elements of the design. Some double dies are subtle, others are dramatic, creating a shadow-like duplicate on the coin's features. For collectors, dramatic doubling is incredibly desirable. When a 1978 penny contains bold doubling on Liberty, the date, or Lincoln's eye, nose, chin, or jacket, it becomes instantly valuable. There are collectors who search through thousands of coins just to find a single double die example. And when one is found, it can escalate in value beyond imagination. If such a double die is combined with other unusual anomalies, it becomes even more special, even more valuable, and even more desirable in auctions. Another important error that can turn the 1978 penny into a treasure is the off-center strike. This occurs when the planchet, the blank metal disc intended to become a coin, is not properly positioned between the dies during the strike. If the misalignment is mild, the error is interesting but not necessarily extremely valuable. But when the strike is significantly off-center 20%, 40%, 60% or more, the coin becomes dramatically unusual. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. And if the date remains visible, collectors go absolutely wild over it because coins with readable dates are significantly more desirable. A 1978 penny struck way off-center, with part of the design missing and part of the blank planchet showing, becomes a unique and extremely valuable item. Die cracks and die cuts are another fascinating category of errors that can add significant value to the 1978 penny. A die crack appears as a raised line on the coin, created when the die begins to fracture. A die cut occurs when a portion of the die breaks off completely, leaving an area on the coin that appears as a large raised, blob-like shape where details should have been. These types of errors are rare, unpredictable, and highly collectible. Imagine finding a 1978 penny with a massive cut covering part of the design, making it one of a kind. Such coins are not only visually striking but also historically significant because they reflect failures in minting equipment that were never meant to occur. Another highly valuable category is planchet errors. A planchet is supposed to be uniform, consistent, and precisely manufactured. However, sometimes planchets are clipped, meaning part of the coin looks like a crescent moon was taken out of it. Sometimes the wrong metal planchets are used. For example, a penny may accidentally be struck on a dime planchet. Errors like this are extremely rare, and when discovered, they create instant excitement. Imagine a 1978 penny struck on a leftover silver dime planchet from previous decades. That type of mistake would immediately launch the coin's value into the millions. Other times, planchets are improperly alloyed, missing metal, or contaminated. Each of these possibilities increases the rarity and value of the coin. One of the most important factors in the value of any coin is the mint mark. In 1978, pennies were minted at different locations, and each mint has its own characteristics. When errors occur with mint marks, such as repunched mint marks, sideways mint marks, misaligned mint marks, or missing mint marks, the value can rise dramatically. A repunched mint mark happens when the mint mark is stamped onto the die multiple times in slightly different positions, creating a layered or shadow-like effect. These repunched mint marks are extremely popular with collectors. A missing mint mark can be even more valuable if it was not intended and if examples are exceptionally rare. Mint mark errors are particularly fascinating because they require close examination to notice, and discovering one feels like uncovering a secret hidden in plain sight. The 1978 penny also gains value from transitional errors. Sometimes, the mint changes metal compositions, die modifications, or machinery settings, and during those transitional periods, mistakes happen. Transitional planchet errors are among the rarest and most valuable types in all of numismatics. If a 1978 penny were struck on a planchet intended for a different year, a different denomination, or a different composition, it would instantly become one of the rarest coins ever minted. Mistakes like this become legendary, driving collectors to bid astonishing amounts. Collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying rarity, history, and story. They are buying uniqueness. The psychology of why collectors are willing to pay millions for error coins is rooted in the human fascination with owning something that almost no one else in the world possesses. The rarer something is, the more emotionally and financially valuable it becomes. A 1978 penny worth $1,258 million is not simply valuable because of its errors, but also because it represents the pinnacle of rarity, the peak of desirability, and the essence of the numismatic treasure hunt. Part of what makes the 1978 penny so fascinating is that millions were minted, yet only a few examples contain the most extraordinary errors. This creates a thrilling sense of possibility. Anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon one. You might find one in your own home right now. That suspense, that hope, that potential discovery keeps collectors searching through rolls of pennies, inherited coin jars, old bank bags, and forgotten boxes of change. The idea that a tiny copper coin could transform someone's life fuels the excitement behind the world of rare coin collecting. The 1978 penny's value also comes from its place in history. The late 1970s were a transitional period in the economy, technology, and minting processes. Equipment was aging, modernization was underway, and certain dies were used far longer than intended. All of these factors increased the chances of errors. When a die becomes worn, cracked, or misaligned, the coins it produces become increasingly unusual. Some of these errors are dramatic, while others are subtle but still rare. My dears, now we explore one of the most fascinating, surprising, and unbelievable stories in the world of American coins. If you've ever held a penny and thought of it as nothing more than a tiny piece of copper worth only a single cent, then today's journey is going to completely change the way you look at the smallest coin in your pocket. Because today we dive deeply into an extraordinary, mysterious, and almost unbelievable story about the Liberty 1-cent coin from the year 1978, a coin that has captured the attention of collectors, researchers, treasure hunters, and dreamers from all over the world. This coin, which was struck by the Denver Mint in a year when billions of pennies were produced, is at the center of a legend that keeps growing with every passing year, a legend connected to the idea that one extremely rare, almost mythical error specimen could be worth an astonishing $1,256 million. That incredible, unbelievable number has become part of the fascination surrounding this coin, and today we will explore in detail how a simple 1-cent coin could inspire such curiosity, such imagination, and such potential value. So welcome to this long and deep exploration where we not only talk about mint errors, mistakes, and mintmark mysteries, but also the human excitement behind the hunt for rare coins. Because every collector and every enthusiast knows the feeling of looking at an ordinary coin and wondering whether something extraordinary might be hidden within it. When it comes to the 1978 penny, that hope has turned into passion for many people, because stories about coins with dramatic doubling, unusual mintmarks, missing elements, wrong planchets, or impossible combinations have spread across collector communities for decades. And every time such a story surfaces, it ignites curiosity all over again. That is exactly why the 1978 penny continues to attract so much attention, and why we are going to dive deep into the possibilities that make this coin so intriguing. Imagine a coin that was minted for 1 cent but rumored to hold a value so massive that it surpasses the worth of luxury properties, historic artifacts, or even some famous artworks. Imagine a coin whose value comes not from gold or silver but from the idea that it might be a one-of-a-kind piece created accidentally during the minting process. In the world of numismatics, the accidental often becomes the exceptional. Mistakes become treasures, imperfections become masterpieces, and flaws become the markings of history. That is why when collectors talk about the possibility of a 1978 penny worth more than $1 billion, they are not merely imagining something impossible. They are exploring the boundaries of what mint errors can do, and how the rarest anomalies can push a coin into a realm of unimaginable value. To understand why this coin has earned such mythical status, we must first understand the environment and the historical context of the United States Mint during the late 1970s. In those years, the mint was striking billions of coins annually to keep up with the demands of a growing economy. The machinery was powerful and advanced for its time, but not perfect. Human intervention still played a role in aligning dies, punching mint marks, inspecting blanks, and preparing the equipment. And whenever humans and high-speed machinery work together, mistakes are possible. These mistakes, though rare, become the heart of what collectors search for, and the 1978 penny is believed to be one of the years where unusual conditions could have produced some of the most dramatic and unique errors imaginable. To begin with, the Denver Mint is known for minting a large percentage of circulating cents in the 1970s. With such massive production volumes, it becomes statistically possible that an extremely rare mistake could have slipped through unnoticed. Something as simple as a doubled die could go undetected if the doubling happened subtly at first but intensified as the die continued striking coins. If such a coin was struck early in that die's life and showed dramatic doubling on the date, the letters of liberty, or the inscription "In God We Trust," it could immediately become a rare collectible. But when collectors imagine a coin worth more than $1 billion, it's not just simple doubling they are envisioning. It would take something so extraordinary, so visually stunning, and so historically unique that it would defy all known categories of mint errors. Something never seen before, never documented, and never repeated. One of the theories often discussed among collectors is the possibility that a 1978 penny could exist with extreme quadruple doubling. While double dies are known, quadrupling of this magnitude would be astonishing, and if present across the entire obverse or reverse of the coin, it could create a dramatic appearance unlike anything previously discovered. If the date 1978 appeared stretched or layered in 4 visibly distinct impressions, it would immediately gain global attention. Collectors seek strong doubling, and the stronger the doubling, the higher the potential value. And if that doubling occurred on a year that has no major known double die varieties, the uniqueness would increase exponentially. Then, there is the matter of the mint mark. In 1978, mint marks were still punched by hand into the working dies. This means the Denver mint mark, represented by the letter D, was manually stamped. This process leaves room for human error and opens the door to fascinating possibilities. A mint mark could be punched too high, too low, too far left, or too far right. It could be punched at an angle, creating a tilted appearance. It could be double punched, producing what collectors call RPMs, or repunched mint marks. In rare cases, mint marks from different mints have mistakenly been applied to the wrong dies, leading to extremely rare varieties such as D over S or S over D. If a 1978 D penny existed with a dramatic repunched mint mark, such as a bold D punched twice with one impression deeply tilted and overlapping the other, it could attract enormous attention. And if it combined with another major error like severe doubling or off-metal striking, the rarity would be beyond anything currently catalogued. Another major factor is the possibility of a transitional or wrong planchet error. Wrong planchet errors occur when a coin is struck on a blank prepared for another denomination or even another country. For example, some pennies have been found struck on dime blanks, leading to lighter weight, different metal composition, and silver-colored appearance. A 1978 D penny struck on a foreign coin planchet, possibly aluminum, bronze, or nickel intended for another country's coinage, would be rare enough. But if it combined with doubling, a repunched mint mark, or a broad strike error, the result could be truly unique. A coin that combines multiple major errors is astronomically rare, because the probability that several mistakes happen on one single coin is unbelievably low. And when something is unique in the entire history of numismatics, collectors will pay astonishing amounts. Then there is the idea of a multiple strike error. This happens when the coin remains lodged between the dies and gets struck again or even several times. If a 1978 D penny were struck multiple times while rotating slightly between impressions, it could produce overlapping, ghost-like images of Lincoln's profile or the Lincoln Memorial. These kinds of errors can be visually dramatic and highly sought after. But imagine a coin struck 4 or 5 times, each impression clear and distinct, each rotated or offset just enough to create a surreal layered image. If such a coin existed from 1978 with a Denver mint mark, collectors would consider it a once-in-history piece. Another source of potential rarity lies in die cracks, die breaks, or cuds. These errors occur when the die begins to fracture, leaving raised lines, bumps, or entire missing sections of the design on the coin. A 1978 D penny that shows a dramatic die break, such as a large raised chunk or a massive line splitting Lincoln's portrait, could be valuable. But again, when collectors imagine a billion-dollar coin, they imagine something beyond the typical. Something like a coin showing a full die cut that covers half the obverse, combined with doubling, combined with a wrong planchet, combined with a mint mark anomaly. Such a combination would be so improbable that it might be unique in the entire history of the U.S. Mint. Another powerful factor behind the fascination with the 1978 D penny is the emotional and psychological appeal of hidden treasure. There is something deeply compelling about the idea that a life-changing object could be sitting unnoticed in a jar of coins, a desk drawer, or an old coffee can in someone's home. Stories of people finding valuable coins in circulation fuel this enthusiasm. When collectors hear that a 1978 D penny might theoretically be worth an unimaginable $1,256 million if the right combination of errors exists, it makes them look closer at pennies they once ignored. Suddenly, the ordinary becomes a field of possibilities. The dream of finding that perfect error drives people to search through bank rolls, estate collections, old coin jars, and inherited collections. Many people who owned penny collections in the 1970s and 1980s are now older or have passed their collections down to younger generations. Dear coin collectors, now we are diving into one of the most fascinating and mind-blowing stories in the world of coin collecting. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that, in everyday life, is worth just 1 cent, yet somewhere in the collector's universe, it could be worth over $1 billion. Yes, you heard that correctly, over $1,209 million. Today, we are talking about the 2007 Liberty 1 cent from the United States, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors, investors, and enthusiasts around the world due to its rare errors, mistakes, and mint mark anomalies. If you think pennies are just everyday pocket change, think again. By the end of this journey, you will never look at a coin in the same way again. The 2007 Liberty 1 cent was part of the iconic Lincoln Cent series, a series that has been in continuous production since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable and historically significant coin series in the United States. The Lincoln Cent, initially designed by Victor David Brenner, has seen many changes over the decades, but the one thing that has remained constant is its potential to become extraordinarily valuable under the right circumstances. The 2007 version is no exception. On its face, it's an ordinary penny, made of copper-plated zinc, with Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Union shield on the reverse. Yet within this ordinary coin lies extraordinary potential. One of the key reasons the 2007 Liberty 1 cent has reached its mind-boggling value is due to a combination of minting errors and mistakes that occurred during its production. Coin errors are highly sought after because they are unique deviations from the standard coin design, often occurring due to machinery malfunctions, human error, or unusual minting conditions. In the case of the 2007 Liberty 1 cent, collectors have identified multiple types of errors, each contributing to its value in the market. First, we have what are known as die errors. The die is the metal stamp used to impress the design onto the coin blank. Over time, dies can crack, chip, or develop imperfections, which then appear on the coin struck from them. In 2007, some Liberty 1 cents were struck with cracked dies, resulting in raised lines or distortions on the coin surface. These die cracks can be subtle or highly pronounced, and coins with significant die cracks are extremely rare and highly desirable to collectors. The uniqueness of these coins lies in the fact that no two cracked dies are exactly the same, making each affected coin essentially one of a kind. Another fascinating category of errors found in the 2007 Liberty 1 cent is doubling, commonly referred to as double die errors. This occurs when the die shifts slightly during the minting process, causing elements of the design to appear twice in slightly different positions. On the 2007 Liberty 1 cent, some collectors have reported doubled images of Lincoln's profile, the lettering, and even the numbers and the date. The visual effect is striking, and coins with pronounced doubling can fetch astronomical sums in the collector's market. The rarity of such double die errors cannot be overstated, as only a small fraction of coins struck from an affected die will display the doubling clearly enough to be valuable. Perhaps one of the most exciting aspects of the 2007 Liberty 1 cent is the existence of mint mark errors. Mint marks indicate where a coin was struck: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and are usually small but crucial details on the coin. Occasionally, mint marks are misplaced, doubled, or even missing altogether. In 2007, several Liberty 1 cents were discovered with irregular mint marks, including coins with missing D or P mint marks, as well as coins with mint marks struck twice. These anomalies are incredibly rare, and in the world of coin collecting, rarity often equates to value. A coin with a missing or doubled mint mark can instantly transform an everyday penny into a multi-million-dollar collectible. It's important to understand why these errors have such a dramatic impact on value. Coins, unlike most commodities, derive their worth not from their metal content but from their scarcity, condition, and historical significance. The 2007 Liberty 1 cent is a perfect storm of all three factors. It is scarce in its error variations, it can be preserved in impeccable condition, and it represents a specific moment in minting history that collectors find irresistible. For someone holding one of these error coins, they are not just holding a penny, they are holding a tangible piece of history, a coin that tells a story of minting mishaps, human oversight, and the fascinating complexity of coin production. now let's talk about one of the most debated topics among collectors: the potential astronomical value of $1,209,000,000. On the surface, this figure might seem absurd. How could a penny, something you can find in your wallet by the dozen, be worth more than $1 billion? The answer lies in the rarity and uniqueness of the error coins, combined with the feverish demand from collectors and investors around the globe. Certain coins from the 2007 Liberty 1 cent series are so rare, with only a handful known to exist, that when they do appear on the market, bidding wars can drive the price into the hundreds of millions, and theoretical projections by numismatic experts estimate potential value exceeding $1 billion under the right conditions. It's also important to consider that coin values, especially for extraordinary collectibles, are influenced by factors far beyond the coin itself. Historical significance, provenance, and market sentiment all play pivotal roles. A coin that can be traced back to a famous collection, or one that has been documented extensively in numismatic literature, will often command far higher prices than an anonymous coin, even if both have identical errors. In the case of the 2007 Liberty 1 cent, coins with documented mint mark anomalies, die cracks, and double dies, especially those in pristine uncirculated condition, are considered the holy grail of Lincoln cent collecting. One cannot talk about the 2007 Liberty 1 cent without mentioning condition, or what collectors refer to as grading. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. Even a rare error coin can see its value diminished dramatically if it is worn, scratched, or damaged. Many of the 2007 Liberty 1 cent error coins that are projected to reach values in the millions are those that have been preserved in near-perfect condition, either stored carefully by collectors or sourced directly from mint packaging. Professional grading services play a critical role here, certifying the coin's authenticity and condition, which in turn establishes its market credibility and allows it to command extraordinary prices. Interestingly, some of the most sought-after coins in the 2007 series are not even those with dramatic visual errors but rather coins with subtle anomalies that are difficult to detect. Tiny misalignments, minor doubling, or slight die shifts can make a coin exceptionally rare, simply because most collectors and casual observers would never notice these imperfections. It's these subtle details that separate a common penny from a billion-dollar collectible. In fact, many of these error coins have been discovered by sharp-eyed collectors who notice even the smallest inconsistencies in design, proving that patience, knowledge, and attention to detail can pay off in unimaginable ways. Another compelling aspect of the 2007 Liberty 1 cent is the fascinating interplay between human error and mechanical precision. Minting coins is a highly sophisticated process, with machinery designed to produce millions of coins per day with exacting precision. Yet, despite these technological marvels, errors still occur. Some might call it chaos in a controlled environment. The 2007 Liberty 1 cent exemplifies this perfectly, demonstrating that even in a world dominated by machines, the unexpected can occur. A tiny shift in a die, a misaligned press, or a slight misplacement of a mint mark can result in a coin that is not just a numismatic curiosity but a highly coveted collectible. The story of the 2007 Liberty 1 cent also highlights the psychology of collecting. Human beings are drawn to rarity and uniqueness. We value things that are scarce, mysterious, or difficult to obtain. This psychological principle is amplified in coin collecting, where rarity is often measured not in numbers but in anomalies. A single error coin can become the centerpiece of a collection, a symbol of luck, knowledge, and connoisseurship. For some, owning one of these 2007 Liberty 1 cents is not just about financial value, it's about prestige, historical connection, and the thrill of discovery. Market trends in numismatics further explain why the 2007 Liberty 1 cent can command such incredible valuations. Over the past few decades, the coin collecting community has expanded dramatically, with high net worth investors entering the market. Rare coins are no longer just hobbyist items, they are seen as alternative investments, similar to art, fine wine, or rare stamps. This influx of serious collectors and investors has driven prices sky high, particularly for coins with documented errors, limited supply, and significant historical relevance. The 2007 Liberty 1 cent sits at the intersection of all these factors, making it a perfect candidate for extraordinary market appreciation. My very respectable viewers, now imagine holding a coin in your hand that is worth exactly 1 cent in everyday transactions, a coin that you might find lying in a couch cushion or at the bottom of your wallet, yet somewhere out there, this same coin could potentially be valued at over $1,208,000,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, over $1 billion for a coin that normally seems ordinary and insignificant. This is the story of the 2008 Liberty 1 cent from the United States, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors, investors, and enthusiasts around the world because of its unique errors, mistakes, and mint mark anomalies. By the end of this journey, you will never look at a penny the same way again. The 2008 Liberty 1 cent is part of the iconic Lincoln Cent series, a series that has been in continuous production since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable and historically significant coins in the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln Cent has evolved in design, metal composition, and minting technology over more than a century, yet it has always retained a unique collectible appeal. On its face, the 2008 Liberty 1 cent appears completely ordinary: copper-plated zinc, Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, and the Union shield on the reverse. Yet beneath this unassuming exterior lies extraordinary value for the right collector. What makes this coin so valuable? The answer lies in the combination of errors, mistakes, and anomalies that occurred during its production. Coin errors are highly prized because they represent deviations from the standard design, often caused by machinery malfunctions, human oversight, or unusual minting conditions. In the case of the 2008 Liberty 1 cent, collectors have identified multiple types of errors, each of which contributes to its enormous collectible value. One of the most common and sought-after errors is the die error. The die is the metal stamp used to impress the coin's design onto a blank planchet. Over time, dies can crack, chip, or otherwise become imperfect, producing coins that bear distinctive raised lines, distortions, or other anomalies. In 2008, some Liberty 1 cents were struck with cracked dies, leading to coins that feature raised streaks or irregularities on the surface. The position, size, and severity of these die cracks vary, meaning that no two cracked coins are exactly alike. These coins are considered highly collectible because their uniqueness guarantees that they cannot be replicated. Another type of error found in the 2008 Liberty 1 cent is the double die, which occurs when the die shifts slightly during the minting process, resulting in a doubled appearance of elements of the design. On some coins from this year, doubling can be seen in Lincoln's profile, in the lettering, or in the numbers of the date. While subtle, this doubling can dramatically increase the coin's value. Only a very small fraction of coins struck from a double die display the effect clearly, making these coins extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. Mint mark anomalies are another reason the 2008 Liberty 1 cent can command such extraordinary value. Mint marks indicate where the coin was produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Occasionally, mint marks can be misplaced, weakly struck, doubled, or entirely missing. In 2008, collectors have found pennies with missing mint marks, doubled mint marks, or mint marks that were struck in unusual positions. These anomalies are extremely rare, and in the world of numismatics, rarity equals value. A coin with a missing or doubled mint mark can instantly transform an otherwise ordinary penny into a multi-million-dollar collectible. The astonishing potential value of the 2008 Liberty 1 cent, projected at $1,208,000,000, can be explained by the interplay of rarity, condition, and market demand. While the coin is worth just 1 cent in face value, collectors place far more importance on scarcity, historical significance, and condition. Only a handful of coins from this series exist with the combination of die errors, doubled dies, and mint mark anomalies that make them truly extraordinary. Coins in pristine condition with verified errors are considered the ultimate collectibles, and they are the ones that have been projected to reach incredible values. Condition, or grading, is critical when it comes to determining value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless, mint condition coin. Even a rare error coin loses considerable value if it is worn, scratched, or damaged. The 2008 Liberty 1-cent coins that are most likely to reach astronomical values are those preserved in near-perfect condition, often directly from the mint or carefully stored by collectors. Professional grading services provide authentication, confirm condition, and assign a numerical grade, which allows the coins to command top-tier prices on the collector's market. Interestingly, some of the most valuable coins from 2008 are not the ones with dramatic or obvious errors but rather those with subtle anomalies. Minor die shifts, faint doubling, or barely visible mint mark irregularities can make a coin exceptionally rare. Most casual observers would overlook these coins, yet to collectors, these subtle variations are often the most desirable. It is these details, invisible to the untrained eye, that can differentiate a coin worth a few dollars from one worth millions or even more than $1 billion. The 2008 Liberty 1 cent also illustrates the delicate balance between human error and mechanical precision. Minting coins is an incredibly precise and automated process, capable of producing millions of identical coins every day. Yet, despite these technological advancements, errors still occur. A tiny misalignment in a die, a misstruck mint mark, or a subtle shift in the press can create a coin that is simultaneously ordinary currency and a unique collectible. It is precisely this combination of human oversight and mechanical unpredictability that makes coins like the 2008 Liberty 1 cent so captivating. The psychology of collecting also plays a role in explaining the extraordinary value of this coin. Humans are naturally drawn to things that are rare, unique, and difficult to obtain. In the world of coin collecting, anomalies and mistakes create intense desire among collectors. Owning a coin with rare errors or unusual mint marks is not only a financial investment but also a symbol of prestige, historical connection, and connoisseurship. For many collectors, the excitement of discovering or owning one of these coins is as important as the potential monetary value. Market trends in numismatics further help explain the $1,208 million valuation. Over the past few decades, the coin collecting community has expanded from hobbyists to include serious investors who view rare coins as alternative assets, much like fine art, rare stamps, or luxury collectibles. Demand for coins with rare errors has increased dramatically, driving prices into the millions and, for exceptional examples, even into the billions. The 2008 Liberty 1 cent, with multiple error types and potential for flawless preservation, fits perfectly into this high-demand category. Authentication and expert verification are essential in a market where stakes are incredibly high. Experts examine coins for die cracks, double dies, mint mark anomalies, and other subtle deviations from standard designs. Even minor details like the angle of a double digit or the size of a raised line can have massive implications for value. Professional certification ensures that collectors and investors can confidently buy, sell, and trade these coins. Without proper verification, a coin's market value can be drastically diminished. The 2008 Liberty 1 cent has also inspired a new generation of coin enthusiasts. Social media, online auction platforms, and international forums have turned coins once considered mundane into viral collectibles. Stories of record-breaking coins, including pennies, have captured the imaginations of young collectors and investors worldwide. The notion that a coin worth 1 cent in circulation could potentially be valued at over $1 billion is compelling, and the 2008 Liberty 1 cent embodies this extraordinary possibility. Understanding this coin also requires considering its place in the broader Lincoln cent series. Lincoln cents have undergone numerous changes in design, metal composition, and minting techniques over the past century. Each period of production offers unique characteristics, attracting collectors who specialize in specific years or error types. The 2008 Liberty 1 cent represents a modern era of minting, where advanced machinery is capable of producing perfect coins but where mechanical or human errors can still occur, resulting in highly desirable anomalies. Perhaps the most remarkable lesson from the 2008 Liberty 1 cent is how extraordinary value can emerge from the most ordinary objects. A single penny, regarded as trivial in everyday life, can become an unprecedented treasure when errors, rarity, and market demand converge. It challenges conventional ideas of value, showing that history, scarcity, and human fascination can transform something as simple as a penny into a highly prized collectible. For collectors and investors, This coin represents opportunity, discovery, and the thrill of owning a piece of numismatic history. Education and research are critical for anyone interested in coins like the 2008 Liberty 1 cent. My great viewers, imagine holding a coin in your hand, a coin that in everyday life is worth just 1 cent, yet in the collector's universe, it could be valued at an astonishing $1,200,000,000. Yes, that is over $1 billion for a coin that we normally consider insignificant. This is the story of the 2016 Liberty 1 cent from the United States, a coin that has captured the fascination of collectors, investors, and enthusiasts worldwide due to its rare errors, mistakes, and mint mark anomalies. By the end of this journey, you will never look at a penny the same way again. The 2016 Liberty 1 cent is part of the iconic Lincoln cent series, which has been in continuous production since 1909. This series is one of the most historically significant and recognizable in American numismatics. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent has seen multiple design changes, metal composition adjustments, and minting innovations over the past century, yet it has always maintained its collectible appeal. On its face, the 2016 Liberty 1 cent looks entirely ordinary: copper-plated zinc, Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, and the Union shield on the reverse. However, behind this seemingly mundane exterior lies extraordinary potential for collectors and investors alike. The reason the 2016 Liberty 1 cent can be worth over $1 billion lies in a combination of minting errors, mistakes, and anomalies that occurred during its production. Coin errors are highly prized because they represent deviations from the standard design, often caused by mechanical malfunction, human oversight, or unusual conditions at the mint. In the 2016 Liberty 1 cent, collectors have documented several types of errors that contribute to its staggering value. One of the most prominent error types is die errors. The die is the metal stamp used to imprint the design onto the coin blank. Over time, dies can crack, chip, or otherwise develop imperfections, which then appear on every coin struck from them. Some 2016 Liberty 1 cents were struck with cracked dies, resulting in coins with raised lines, distortions, or other surface anomalies. These die cracks vary in size, position, and severity, making each coin unique. Collectors prize these coins because no two are alike, and each represents a one-of-a-kind artifact of minting history. Another type of error that significantly enhances the value of the 2016 Liberty 1 cent is the doubled die. This occurs when the die shifts slightly during the minting process, producing a doubled appearance in some elements of the coin's design. On some 2016 Liberty 1 cents, doubling can be observed in Lincoln's profile, the date, or the inscriptions. While these errors may appear subtle, they dramatically increase the coin's value. Only a very small fraction of coins struck from a double die show this error clearly, making these coins exceptionally rare and highly sought after by collectors. Mint mark anomalies also play a critical role in the coin's value. Mint marks indicate where a coin was struck: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and they are generally small but essential details. Occasionally, mint marks can be misplaced, doubled, or missing entirely. In 2016, several Liberty 1 cents were discovered with irregular mint marks, including missing mint marks, weakly struck mint marks, or doubled mint marks. These anomalies are extremely rare, and in the world of numismatics, rarity equates to value. A coin with a missing or doubled mint mark can instantly transform an ordinary penny into a collectible worth millions of dollars. The staggering potential value of $1,200,000,000 for the 2016 Liberty 1 cent can be attributed to the interplay of rarity, condition, and market demand. While the coin has a face value of 1 cent, collectors and investors place far greater importance on scarcity, historical significance, and condition. Only a handful of coins from the 2016 series exhibit the perfect combination of die errors, doubled dies, and mint mark anomalies that make them exceptional. Coins preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition with verified errors are considered the holy grail of Lincoln cent collecting, and these are the coins projected to reach unprecedented values. Condition, or grading, is critical in determining the value of any coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a flawless, mint condition coin. Even the rarest error coin loses significant value if it is worn, scratched, or damaged. The 2016 Liberty 1-cent coins that are likely to achieve the highest valuations are those that have been preserved in near-perfect condition, often sourced directly from mint packaging or carefully stored by collectors. Professional grading services provide authentication, verify condition, and assign a numerical grade, which allows these coins to command maximum prices in the collector's market. Some of the most valuable 2016 Liberty 1 cents are not those with dramatic visual errors but coins with subtle anomalies. Minor die shifts, faint doubling, or barely visible mint mark irregularities can create an exceptional coin. Most casual observers would overlook these coins, yet collectors prize them precisely because of these subtle variations. These seemingly minor details can make the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one projected to reach hundreds of millions or even over $1 billion. The 2016 Liberty 1 cent also highlights the delicate balance between human error and mechanical precision in coin production. Minting coins is a highly automated and precise process, capable of producing millions of identical coins daily. Yet even in this highly controlled environment, errors occur. A tiny misalignment of a die, a misstruck mint mark, or a slight press malfunction can transform a standard penny into a rare collectible. It is this intersection of precision and unpredictability that makes coins like the 2016 Liberty 1 cent so compelling and valuable. Human psychology also plays a role in explaining the coin's extraordinary market value. People are naturally drawn to rarity, uniqueness, and the thrill of acquiring something difficult to obtain. In coin collecting, anomalies and mistakes generate intense interest and competition. Owning a coin with a rare error, a unique mint mark, or a subtle doubling is not only a financial investment but also a symbol of prestige, historical connection, and numismatic expertise. For many collectors, the excitement of discovering or possessing one of these coins is just as important as its potential monetary value. Market dynamics in the world of numismatics further contribute to the extraordinary valuation of the 2016 Liberty 1 cent. Over the past few decades, the coin collecting community has expanded beyond hobbyists to include serious investors who view rare coins as alternative assets, similar to fine art, rare stamps, or luxury collectibles. This growing market demand for coins with rare errors has pushed values into the millions, and for the most exceptional examples, into the billions. The 2016 Liberty 1 cent, with multiple error types and the potential for flawless preservation, perfectly fits this profile. Authentication is essential in a market where stakes are incredibly high. Experts meticulously examine coins for die cracks, double dies, mint mark anomalies, and subtle deviations from the standard design. Even minor details, such as the angle of a doubled number or the thickness of a raised line, can greatly affect a coin's value. Professional certification ensures authenticity, allowing buyers and sellers to participate confidently in auctions and private sales. Without proper verification, a coin's market value can be drastically diminished, emphasizing the importance of expert grading and authentication. The 2016 Liberty 1 cent has also inspired a new generation of coin collectors. Social media platforms, online auction websites, and international numismatic forums have helped popularize stories of record-breaking coins, including pennies that were once overlooked. Young collectors and investors are particularly drawn to the notion that a coin with a face value of 1 cent could potentially be worth over $1 billion. The 2016 Liberty 1 cent embodies this extraordinary possibility, capturing imaginations worldwide and creating a new wave of interest in coin collecting. Understanding the 2016 Liberty 1 cent requires placing it within the broader context of the Lincoln Cent series. Lincoln Cents have undergone numerous design changes, composition adjustments, and minting innovations since 1909. Each production era has its own unique characteristics, attracting collectors who specialize in specific years or error types. The 2016 Liberty 1 cent represents a modern era of minting, where machinery is highly advanced but errors still occur, resulting in coins that are both historically significant and highly collectible. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of the 2016 Liberty 1 cent is how extraordinary value can emerge from the most ordinary objects. A coin worth 1 cent in everyday life can become a treasure worth over $1 billion when rarity, condition, and market demand converge. It challenges conventional ideas of value and teaches us that history, scarcity, and human fascination can transform something seemingly trivial into a highly prized collectible.